During my secondary modern school days, I was a member of the choir at St. Peter's Anglican Church in Shara. And there, I was uh, in the company of Christians. And after my baptism, we were leading the choir every time we have a service, either divine or occasional service. And the music really got me into the church, and I was, I would say I was really covered by the glory of God, and I believe, and it became clear to me that God wanted me to serve Him. Even though I have all the time loved the priesthood, but until that time, when I became a member of the choir, there wasn't any genuine confirmation of that fact. So it was in 1966, to be precise, that I became convinced that God has called me to serve in His church. Well, the message to all the people of God, particularly the ministers today, is for them to know Jesus Christ. I think the knowledge of Jesus Christ is very, very important, as it happened to me. When you know Jesus Christ, when you were convinced of the fact that He came, and He didn't come for Himself, but for others, and He laid His life down so that others may have the genuine call, and also genuine reason to believe God. Then the sacrificial services that Jesus Christ demanded will be clear to them, and they will be convinced. Unless we know Christ, we know Him, other things will take the premium in our lives. So for a minister of God, the most important thing for us to know is to give our sacrificial services to God, to love Him, to serve Him. And it is when we love Jesus, when we serve Him, that we can serve others. But today, we have other people looking elsewhere instead of looking towards God for their providence. The problem with the ministers today is that they look at their needs and the enormity of their needs, and therefore this will not allow them to serve God genuinely. But what is important is to know Christ as the God of providence, and He will always provide. I believe that. And if we are convinced that He will provide for our needs, we don't have to run escascator in order for us to satisfy the flesh. Because Paul will say he did not peddle with the word of God in order to serve self. And that is what we didn't do in our days. Selfless service and following the step of Jesus Christ has always been behind our calling.